They didn't talk much on the drive back. The road twisted through the forest, sunlight barely filtering through the trees. No one wanted to mention Chris. No one wanted to admit that they'd seen him or something wearing his jacket, standing on that balcony as they drove away. Ethan's hands gripped the wheel tighter. Maybe he just wandered off before we woke up, he said weakly. Wandered off. Mariah snapped. Ethan, he's gone. You saw what we saw. Sophie sat in the back, pale and silent. Her phone buzzed suddenly. She glanced down and froze. One new message. From Chris. The message read, "Don't leave yet. They won't let you." Her breath caught in her throat. "Guys," she whispered, holding up her phone. "He just texted me." Ethan swerved slightly. "That's impossible. His phone's in my backpack. I picked it up from the room." Sophie opened the chat again. The message had vanished. The thread was empty. No Chris, no number. By afternoon, they found a roadside diner and pulled over. Inside, the smell of coffee and grilled cheese filled the air. The place looked normal to normal. Mariah tried to call Chris's parents, but there was no signal again. "We were supposed to be out of that dead zone," she muttered, shaking her head. An older waitress came over. "You kids hiking?" she asked kindly. "Sort of," Ethan said. "We stayed at a hotel up the road, Hotel Silence Hill." "You know it." The waitress's smile faded instantly. "You must be mistaken." "No, really, it's maybe 20 minutes up the trail." She set down the coffee pot slowly. "That hotel burned down in 1989. There's nothing there but ashes and old foundations." The table went silent. "Ma'am," Sophie said quietly, "we stayed there last night." The waitress stepped back, her expression hardening. "Then whoever checked you in wasn't alive." They left the diner shaken. The idea didn't make sense. They'd been there. They'd seen it, touched it, smelled it. But as they drove back down the road, Ethan slowed the van. The forest looked different in daylight, emptier somehow. When they reached the same fork where the gravel path had been, there was nothing. No path, no sign, no hotel, just trees. "What the hell?" Liam whispered. "Maybe we turned wrong," Mariah said, but she didn't sound convinced. They got out, walked around. The only thing they found was a patch of scorched earth and an old, rusted mailbox lying in the dirt. It read, "Hotel Silence Hill, established 1932. Sophie's phone buzzed again. She pulled it out with trembling hands. "And no number. You shouldn't have left him." Her stomach dropped. The others leaned in. "Who's sending these?" Ethan demanded. Before Sophie could answer, the phone vibrated again, this time with a video call. The screen showed a dim hallway, the same one from the hotel, lined with faded photos. The camera was moving slowly, as if someone was walking. Then the camera turned, and there was Chris, standing in front of room 9, eyes blank, whispering something. "Mariah," he said in a hoarse voice, "it's not a hotel, it's a doorway." The screen went black. That night, they couldn't bring themselves to drive farther. They camped by the roadside instead. The air felt heavy, unnaturally still. Around midnight, Liam woke to the sound of footsteps circling their van. He peeked through the window, no one. Then he heard it again on the opposite side. Soft, slow-dragging sounds, like shoes scraping gravel. He nudged Ethan awake. "Someone's out there." Ethan sat up, flashlight ready. But before he could switch it on, something slammed hard against the van door. Bang. They screamed. Ethan threw open the light and saw a handprint on the glass. A handprint smeared in ash. They started the engine immediately. Tires screeched as they sped off into the dark highway. By sunrise, They reached the edge of a small town and stopped at a gas station. Inside, the attendant, a younger man this time, noticed their exhausted faces. "Rough night?" he asked. "You could say that," Ethan muttered. The man looked curious. "You guys camping out near Shadow Falls?" "Yeah. We all stayed near an old hotel," Mariah said quietly. The attendant's face went pale. "You mean the one that burned down?" Sophie groaned. "Yeah, we've heard that story." He shook his head. "Not a story. My uncle was sheriff back then. Said the guests never made it out. Every few years, someone swears they see lights up there. People even check in sometimes. But they never check out." He leaned closer. "If you really stayed there, you might want to get rid of whatever you brought back." "What do you mean?" Ethan asked. "Objects," he said. "Things. They attach themselves to people. Sometimes they follow you home." Ethan frowned, confused, until Sophie looked down at her backpack and noticed something sticking out of the pocket. A brass key. Room 9. That night, back in the city, each of them tried to move on, but they couldn't. Strange noises, flickering lights, shadows that didn't match their movements.